there still hope for student loans to be canceled? President Biden seems to think so, but legal experts say there are still hurdles ahead. Here's what you need to know. The Biden administration attempted to cancel up to $10,000 of student loans for people making up to $125,000 a year, and up to $20,000 of student loans for those that met those criteria and also used a Pell Grant in college. Americans owe $1.7 trillion in student loans, and the Biden administration had anticipated that more than 40 million people would benefit from this program. But almost as soon as the government announced its plans to forgive student loans, opponents vowed to challenge it legally, and eventually they won. On June 30th, the Supreme Court ruled that the Biden administration did not have the authority to cancel student loans under the HEROES Act. That's a 2003 law that allows the federal government to modify or cancel student loans in a national emergency. Just a few hours after the Supreme Court struck down his plan, President Biden announced that he would look to cancel student loans in a new way. I spoke to Jillian Berman, MarketWatch's student loans reporter, who's been keeping a close eye on all new developments. Like, what is this new plan, and will it have a different fate?
With the second attempt at student debt cancellation, the Biden administration is using the Higher Education Act. And under the Higher Education Act, any laws that sort of have to do with financial aid generally have to go through a regulatory process that can take several months. The Biden administration says it's going to move quickly as possible, but they are having multiple negotiating sessions that they're staggering a few weeks apart. So, we know at least that process is going to take a few months. Legal experts expect that the Biden administration's new debt relief plan will face lawsuits. Because it has to go through this process called negotiated rulemaking, a court won't entertain those lawsuits until that process has sort of been worked through. So we probably will not be seeing lawsuits right away. We won't see them for several months. In terms of the outlook for those lawsuits, it's sort of hard to say. Legal experts I've spoken with said, the court found that parties have standing to sue. So it seems pretty clear that if a similar party brought the lawsuit again, they would probably find they have standing to sue. The Higher Education Act, which is the law that the Biden administration is using for this new plan, gives broader authority to make changes to student loans. And so the court probably cannot use the exact same rationale that they used to strike down his initial plan. Still, though, because of their skepticism of broad executive authority, some legal experts think that, they would use a similar rationale or sort of similar legal theories to say that this plan also is not legal.
So we know that the strategy for debt relief is changing, but what sort of eligibility comes with it?
We don't know at this point how many people are going to be eligible. Biden administration officials have said, they want to have the relief available to as many people as possible. The contours of the actual relief plan will in some ways be shaped by the process of coming up with a plan. So through this process called negotiating rulemaking, where they convene stakeholders who sort of discuss all of this, that will help to shape the new debt relief plan. So too early to say what exactly it will look like. Another thing is that, legal experts say it's likely that the new plan will be slightly different from the old plan just because the court struck down the old plan. And so the Biden administration is going to want to show that they thought about the new legal authority they're using. They thought about, maybe some of the issues brought up in litigating this. And, that's why they're coming back with a different idea for debt relief.
Though the Biden administration seems committed to provide student loan relief, the October deadline for payments to resume is fast approaching, and experts aren't confident that the situation will be resolved by then. Borrowers and experts are keeping a close eye as these plans develop, and so are we. And if you need more videos like this from MarketWatch and the Explainomics playlist, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.